What's up, everybody? Rev Sauce 9 here. Make sure to rate, like, and subscribe. We're going to do a quick review of Rampage from last night for 3/1/2024. Before I get to working out, I'm going to do a quick review of this. Look, Riho came back. Riho made her return to Rampage. I'm excited about that. I know Rampage is taped before Dynamite, and so is Ring of Honor. So, yeah, it's already been spoiled and leaked out there. I know somebody in my comment section will probably tell me that, I guess you got to be a real nerd if you got to read the spoilers and things like that. And by the way, to the person that commented down below in my comment section that's acting like a nerd down below about Maxine Dupree, oh, she's talentless and this, that, and the third. Look, go kick rocks. Look, I said she's very talented because on the mic she's very funny. She's done some promos. She is talented. She just needs to go home her craft in the Performance Center. I'm not saying she's a terrible wrestler or anything like that. I just think she gets a bad rap from the fans, and that falls on WWE, honestly. WWE has let her down, and it's really depressing to see that WWE's let her down, and that's because she came in during the Vince McMahon era, honestly. So that's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. It's like what I'm about to say here. I watch Rampage, Ring of Honor, and Collision every week to a certain extent when I have time. Sometimes I watch it days after the fact, but since I was working out and I needed something while I was stretching and everything, before I work out, I watched Rampage. So, again, when I catch it as it's happening, I'll review it, give it a quick review. If I don't, then I usually don't do a review. But Rampage was pretty good this week. Was it spectacular? Absolutely not. It was more like I would say a C. I would say average. But it had things to take away from it. For instance, Riho and Trish's match was damn fantastic. I thought it was perfect for what it was. They are showing off Ring of Honor talent here. She's a former military person. But most people don't watch Ring of Honor. See, it pays to watch Ring of Honor because you would know these talents that are coming across to Rampage and Collision because most of them are part of Shane Taylor Promotions or Charlie's, Army Infantry military faction within Ring of Honor. Most of you would know that. People call me a hardcore fan because I know so much, but the casual fans only watch Dynamite. They only really care about Dynamite. The casual fans are watching SmackDown, Raw, and literally no joke, Dynamite. They're not watching the Rampages. They're not watching the Collisions. They're not watching the Ring of Honors. They're not watching the TNAs or the MLWs. They're watching 3 shows a week. And then they want to say how AEW is dying and they don't get the views and how they suck and Tony Khan can't book and he's overbooking and the titles are garbage and this, that, and a third when they're actually building storylines between each show. So I find it preposterous how people say that to me. And by the way, before somebody comments, oh, you're just an AEW, dick rider, or you're just an AEW apologist or a fanboy. Look, no, I'm not. I'm just a pro wrestling fan that watches the shows every week. Sometimes I throw them into the background because I still like to watch the stuff because there's nothing really else that interests me. I'm going to watch my shitty Lakers lose another game. I'm going to watch the Clippers win another game over my Lakers. Like, come on. Like, the Lakers have been terrible. It's preseason for the Angels right now. I'm not watching Cactus League shit. And there's better things for me to watch on a Friday and a Saturday. Yeah. But I still like my wrestling, and if I watch sports on one monitor, I have a tablet, so I can watch both. It's great. Again, Rampage, like I said, is good stuff. They had CMLL guys like Magnus winning against, who was it that he won against, that's never been shown on television in a minute. Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal's showing his gray, actually. Matt Sydal loses to Magnus, which was a great match, but it was kind of just like a fast match. And Matt Sydal looks like he's just a resident jobber for AEW, which I find very interesting. Maybe that he's getting paid too good to be a jobber. But in Ring of Honor, he's actually pretty good shit, actually. Riho defeats Trish. Good to see her back. I love when I see Riho on television. I think Riho's great shit. A lot of people don't understand Riho, but Riho shows off in Stardom. A lot of people don't realize Riho's got a big thing in Stardom next to a bunch of other wrestlers like Otani and things like that. So it's like people don't watch the other stuff to understand why Riho is in AEW, and people don't understand why they allow her to go across both sides. And, I would love to see Otani in AEW. I think it would be great to have some juicy pro wrestling in Maki Ito. I would like to see back in AEW. I liked her in AEW. So, again, Lance Archer and the Righteous defeat Anna, Vaughn, and Luke Langley. I mean, that was a quick match. It basically showed off Lance Archer for this all-star scramble match that they got going on. It was supposed to be a Meat Madness match with Lance Archer, and it was supposed to be Keith Lee, and it was supposed to be Powerhouse Hobbs and Miro. Miro's out hurt, but Miro, take him with a grain of salt. Don't believe everything you hear from this guy. Oh, it's miscommunication. Everybody's freaking out. Oh, AEW doesn't have communication because Dave Meltzer and Brian Alvarez that have been ice cold giving their takes on wrestling lately. Who believes the Wrestling Observer anymore? I don't. After Meltzer fucking pulled the amnesia stunt, like, we got to check his brain out to see if he's, been too much in the wrestling bubble. Don't take what you hear from the Wrestling Observer serious. Please don't. Dave Meltzer is literally looking like he's Amnesia Pro, okay, right now. And same with Brian Alvarez. They haven't been on the money. Sean Ross Sapp, PWI, things like that have been on the money about wrestling. Deceased has been also, Decito, that's also part of Fightful, I think, or one of them, has been on the money about things too. So don't take what you hear from the Wrestling Observer truthfully anymore. They've been off. Claudio beats Rangild. Literally with a with a lock and a gotch pile driver, technically, or neutralizer. 1, 2, 3. Technically, that match was a throwaway. Honestly, if you want to go there, this show was a C-average show. I actually really liked Saraya here with Harley and her brother beating the shit out of Coolhead Ange, and literally turned around to Ruby Soho and said, I made you bitch in AEW. And I love it. Wearing biker gear, literally leather, everything. Same with Harley. They look demonly hot, and I'm cool with it. Saraya needs to be this more often. In the last couple weeks, Saraya has been building this mega faction. They brought in her brother. They're doing vignettes with him. Zach Knight. Zach Knight's been well known across the board. On pretty much anything indie-wise for years. It's good to see him finally being on a major promotions television. Again, I like Harley. Harley's that Tarzan Jane kind of chick, crazy woman that can wear leather with big boots and be sexy at the same time. I love it. Again, people say Collision, Rampage, and Ring of Honor does not have stories. They do. The Righteous are being featured. Like, there's different talent being featured on different shows. For instance, the House of Black has requested Collision. So I watch Collision for my House of Black, my Julia Hart, that whole Julia Hart, Statlander, which they're going to have a pre-show match for that. Tag team match. Sky Blue's coming in on her own. It looks like this faction with Saraya's coming in on its own. I'm going to have Jamie Hayter coming back. We're going to have again, Britt Baker. We're going to have Monet. It looks like Peppermint's got a writing story for the women's division. I think it's going to be very, very Peppermint. I think it's going to be good for the women's division. She's working hand in hand. It looks like things are going to have beginning and middle and ends. Tony Khan did say in the media scrum they are working on better storytelling and getting back to where they were in 2019. So, AEW kind of cooled off, but I really think with Revolution being stacked, and I think with them deviating a few things, I think it's going to be a good pay-per-view, and I think going forward, AEW will hopefully show some signs of life, because I want them not to be so ice cold. I'm not the only one that thinks that way, man. But a lot of you don't watch Rampage. It's surprised when they do good shit. Most of it was a recap show of what's happening in Revolution. But again, like I said, I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm seeing different talent being featured on Rampage, and I liked what they did with Saraya. Saraya, look, love her, hate her, whatever. I think this is what she's good at, being a crazy heel. She did that in WWE. I think have her be this crazy heel. With her brother being the Brute, they could walk in the Ring of Honor, beat Athena real quick, and take the belt off of her. I'd be okay with that. I really think, Harley's good shit. Harley could come up on the women's division. They need more women's stuff going on. I think with Monet coming in, I think originally it was supposed to be Saraya and Monet going at each other. I think they could do that over the title when Monet does win the belt. I think Monet will win the belt right off the rip. I have that feeling because Tony Khan wants to give their big paid wrestlers the most in AEW. So pretty much this show's a C average show. I would say it's a 6.75. It's not the best show in the world. It was a highlight show mostly, but there was matches to be taken from here and things like that. Again, they have a All-Star Scramble match is also for tonight episode. Matt Sydal faces Magnus, blah, blah, blah. They did that. Rio returns. Rio got a win. So it puts Rio up in the rankings. Yes, rankings do matter in AEW. Some people are going to say, oh, my God. And I'm going to have some people, you're on just Tony Khan's payroll and on his ball sack. No, I'm not, in fact. In fact, I just watch all wrestling stuff, and I just don't review because a lot of the wrestling stuff because I got not enough time in my life. So there's that. Anyway, Rampage was good. I enjoyed it. I got to get to working out. I will see you guys in the game stream later on today. Have a good one. I will see you guys shortly.